This is the Blockade Pinball Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Freebus, aka Shut Your Trap, and you're watching something a little bit different now, aren't you? Yeah, so, as many of you know that have viewed our show recently, I mentioned that I got this bad boy, Target Alpha. And the request went out that, hey, you're going to be doing some fixes on this, so maybe let us watch? Which is kind of a scary proposition because I know nothing about EMs. So I thought, why not give you guys a tour of the things that need to be taken care of? And I'll take you on the journey a little bit, and that way you guys can also help in the comments when I'm running up against anything or making suggestions of how I should go forward on these things. So this is going to be a multi-part video series, and I think to start, we're, like I said, going to give you the tour of what this machine is doing and not quite doing. Let's get started. So welcome to my very messy garage. This too is going to be getting cleaned up during these videos, but I just want to give you a little tour of the machine itself. Let's just see the state of it. And at first glance, it looks pretty dang amazing. Now, those of you that are a little eagle-eyed, you might notice that, hey, that's a really white border going on around here. And that's because it has clearly been repainted. These graphics here on the side obviously went all the way to the edge. So at some point, somebody decided to slap a little paint on this, which is okay. I mean, it still looks really nice and sharp. I'm happy about that. The back glass is very, very nice and shiny, but I'll just give you a preview here. You'll see here, there's where some of the paint got slopped onto the reel, right there on that zero. Now, I've mentioned before that this was as far as I know, a single owner table. It had been on a film production set. After they got done with the production, one of the people that was working on it decided to purchase it from the production, brought it home, and there it sat for the next 45 years. For a machine that's been sitting for 45 years, it's been really nicely maintained, and we'll go into a little bit more of everything you see there. But quickly, because I know you spotted it in the garage. Yes, there's my 8-Ball Deluxe. There's my Firepower. Two more machines that, if you guys actually like what's going on here, we'll get into those too. The 8-Ball Deluxe doesn't need a terrible amount. It's got some electrical issues. Firepower, it's in a billion pieces. Yeah. It's nasty. All right. Let's give you a little more of what's going on with this machine here. So one of the issues I'm going to need to fix is cleaning the score reels, because as you can see, when I start up a brand new game, player 4 oftentimes sticks. Except for when I want it to. So very playable machine, as you can see. It bats around just perfectly fine, and keeps score. Does everything you want to do to be able to play. But it does have a couple of those issues where the score reels sometimes stick, so those need cleaning. Sometimes it makes player 1 and player 4 play, even though it's a single player game, and then it only gives you 3 balls between the 2 players. So really you're playing the single player, but it happens to be activating player 4. Don't know what that's about. Again, I think a healthy cleaning of the reels will take care of that. But what other issues do we need to address? Well, first off, let's take a look at this play field here. Obviously, you can see it's got some ball swirl action. I don't know how much, if any, the Magic Eraser is going to be able to take up of that stuff that's on there. But we'll give it a whirl, see what happens. Mainly in that yellow right there, you can really see those ball swirls. Yep, we got Mylar right over there and right over there at the slingshots. If we go a little bit north, there is Mylar here, and it's just that non-adhesive floating. Don't know if I need to replace that or not. I'll keep it the floating though, rather than adhering it down there. Another bit of Mylar right over there. This Mylar it's loads of laughs because it's nice and thick, and it'll actually change the direction the ball rolls. I don't know if I can demonstrate it right now. Yep, there we go. Anyway, that's just one of those treats that's going on here. But I mean, by and large, there's really nothing to repair. I'm not going to do any painting. That's not my field of expertise in the least. When we talk about firepower, you'll understand exactly what I mean by that. Plastics are chipped on both of the slingshots. Do I care? I'm not spending 70 bucks on a whole new plastic set just to fix those two when everything else is just fine. The apron is really nice, as is the ball launch. And yeah, there's some wear and tear on the shooter lane. What would you expect? Something else I need to address, I need new rubber. This one right there happened to come basically disintegrated, so I wound up taking it from right here, because the ball barely ever bounces back there, and until I get new rubber. So I'm thinking of going and getting, I don't know, maybe some Super Bands or Titan rubber. We'll see. Now when I start up a new game, there you go. It's saying that one player can play. I push the start button again. Number 2 don't light up. I push the number again. Hey, now they all light up. And for the 4th time, bam. So it's just interesting that that player 2 does not light until you push once again the start button for 3 player. Another thing that needs correcting is our ball match at the end of play, because it will always be 0 or 80, I believe, or 10, I don't know. Yeah, 00 and 10. It used to be 80 only, but now it's just always 00 and 10. All right, so here's the innards of the back box. It's all really relatively nice and clean. The fact that I can actually see what colored wires are here is rather amazing. But one thing that I do know is in regards to our match relay, and that you can see is very, very dusty. So much so it's got that little groove going on about where it's trying to spin around. So that's going to be one of the very first things that I wind up taking apart and cleaning, because it needs a lot of help. But the question is, what else might need help? Like I said, this score reel over here, which is player 4, it's got some sticking going on, so I think I'm going to have to go into that also and do some cleaning. Player 3 also had sticking. I think it's just a lack of play. The more I played it, the more often it doesn't stick. So we'll be doing some minor cleaning, but I really don't want to do a whole lot because for the most part, this thing works and I don't need to break it. Don't break what works perfectly fine. This thing here, it's dry as a bone, so I believe I'm going to be doing a little greasing on it, checking some of its contacts, and we'll do the exact same elsewhere. So this is machine 10233, as can be confirmed on the inside. Also being 10233, covered up by that card, by the way. But yeah, what would be a tour without seeing the innards, right? Look at this thing. It's freaking gorgeous in there. Just very, very clean. Not dusty, not all charred up. When was the last time any of these contacts were cleaned? Good question, but again, they're working, so do I bother? Now, this is my play count meter. I can't necessarily say that's the correct amount because that's what it's been stuck at since I got it home. So I don't know if my play meter is actually working. But I'll accept 38, almost 39,000 plays on a 46-year-old machine. Why not? And then let's look at the upper guts here. There's your drop target assembly. Your other drop target assembly. Your stepper unit that also is dry as a bone. So it'll be getting some grease. Flippers. Not too shabby. And then just swinging around here, here's your coin door, which, yeah, we got the metal coin door there, but then over here, hard to get my camera angle there, we got a plastic unit. So I'm guessing the coin door at some point got rebuilt. Now there's something that's kind of interesting. The beer guard, or foam at this point, was applied directly to the glass. And there's some on the lock bar, but it's obviously very, very rotted out. So I did go ahead and order some parts from Pinball Resource, PBR. Some things I already had. For instance, schematics for my Target Alpha. Not that I know how to read a single line of this. This is all just gobbledygook to me. But hey, maybe one day I'll want to learn. But, like I said, I did order some parts, so let's see what I went ahead and ordered. Well, I got 4 boxes of 47 lights. I'm debating if I want to put LEDs in this, just to, again, save on heat. But then again, it's not like this machine's going to be turned on all the time, so not quite sure. And 40 is not going to cover the 80 lights that are on here. Honestly, it's more for me to check out that I like them, and then also for my 8-Ball Deluxe, which is missing a whole bunch of lights. Speaking of 8-Ball Deluxe, one of the things that will be happening with that in the future is drop targets. I needed a new set of drop targets, so those don't belong to this, though. What is this? Ooh, that's really fun and hard to see. These are the Mylar protectors for the pop bumpers. There's 2 of them in here. Again, I don't know if I'm going to need to install these, but they were cheap. They were like 80 cents each, and since I was doing a shipment, threw them in anyway. I got a rubber light remover. Again, this is more for 8-Ball Deluxe because it's a pain in the butt to get out some of the lights. But I figured I could use it here too. Beer guard. Yeah, that's going to be replacing the nasty gunked up crap that's on the glass here. And we'll just attach it where it actually belongs, to the lock bar. My partner Jared said I really, really need one of these, which is a, what are we calling it? Connector? Switch? I don't know. Adjuster. Never use needle nose pliers, I think, is the rule of thumb. Use one of these instead to bend if needed, making adjustments. Again, I don't know that I'm going to need to make any adjustments. Once I do the basic cleaning, we'll see if that fixes everything that we're worried about. But again, good tool to have all the same. I did get myself a, what's it called, Plastistone file for the relays, in case I need to clean any of those. I'll give those a quick little buff. For the flippers and the slingshots, I got a metal file in case I need to clean those up. Again, I don't have any tools for pinball, so I need to have something, I guess. However, I was alerted, don't use this or the Plastistone on 8-Ball Deluxe switches, because those are gold-plated, and this will just take it right off. Good to know. Got myself some PBR grease. So that'll be what I'm going to apply to those stepper units, just to give them a little bit of lubrication. I don't think I'm really going to be putting this anywhere else. But again, one of those things, good to have, I guess, if you're going to own this kind of machine, might as well. And then a Target Alpha operations book, which I did not have. And I was thumbing through this, and there's all sorts of information that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to know. So, again, it was nice. Even though it's a copy, a replica, PBR is licensed to do these, and it was only $4, so why not? I also picked up, not from PBR, but elsewhere, some 1000 grit sandpaper. That's going to be for buffing up the stepper unit, making sure it has clean contact. And then, well, you all tell me. Contact cleaner or no? I mean, do I use that to clean that match game relay? I don't know. Some people swear never use this stuff. I don't know if that's a problem or not. But there you are. So for those of you wondering, those limited amount of parts that I bought, yeah, that ran me to the tune of about $85. Most of that, like I think 44 of it, going towards the drop targets for 8-Ball Deluxe. But yeah, not any like major parts, right? So that's what, though, we're going to be using to take care of this monstrosity here behind me. So join me on this journey. Tips and advice are more than welcome. If I'm making any drastic errors, let me know. Like I said, I really don't know anything about maintenance or care of an EM. I am not looking to restore this machine. I'm more looking to just make it play really, really well. All right. Till next time. Bye-bye.